For this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a simple brown smoky eye with a little bit of glitter in the inner corner to match this bold lip. If you guys want to know how I achieved this look, just keep on watching. So I decided to include my face routine in this eyeshadow look solely because I've changed a lot of my products that I've been using because I did get really pale and I lost my tan. When I needed a new foundation, I went to Ulta and decided to pick up a few things, and I've actually been loving it. So I will tell you what I use. I'm going to be using for my primer is actually Makeup Forever's Step 1 Skin Equalizer. It was a little bit pricey, I believe it was like $20-some, but it says mattifying primer. So really oily skin, and in the winter I get super oily skin, which doesn't make sense to me, but I get oily skin here and then really dry around here. I don't know if you can see, but my face literally gets red from how dry it is. I have to put lotion on it all the time. The days I don't do anything, I usually don't wear makeup because my skin gets so bad. So I'm going to apply a little bit of that primer on my T-zone areas. I will say this doesn't have the best smell, but it goes away pretty fast. Okay, and the foundation I've been loving is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Liquid Foundation. This stuff has saved my life. I have been using it a lot recently, and I honestly just love it. The only thing I do have to say is I've noticed I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I'm almost halfway done. I don't know if it's because I use a lot of it or because I've been using it so frequently. And it's kind of like the packaging is so big, but realistically you're only getting this much of product, but I mean that's okay. And I'm in the shade 5.0. Although it is full coverage, you could definitely mix it with your moisturizer or with a hydrating primer, and that would make it more sheer if that's what you're going for. But okay, and now I'm just going to be taking a sponge, wetting it. And make sure you blend it to that hairline. Forget to blend it onto your neck. On camera, from what I'm seeing from this, I'll have to see once I go back and edit it, it's looking like it's picking up a little bit more yellow, but in person it does match my neck perfectly. Okay, and for concealer, I'm going to be using my Rimmel Match Perfection in 230 Fair Light. I'm going to be making those V motions underneath my eyes. And mixing with that, I'm going to be using my IT Under Eye Concealer, the Bye Bye Under Eye. I love this. It's really full coverage, especially because I didn't get much sleep, so I have really bad bags right now. But this is my summer shade, so it's pretty much the same color as my skin right now, so that's why I have to mix it in with that really white concealer. And the Rimmel concealer is okay on its own. It's just pretty sheer. It's not that full coverage. And this stuff is really going to cover up any under eyes you may have. And I also have been using this, like last week I was breaking out pretty bad, so I would use this on top of my foundation because it's the same shade, and it really did cover up all those blemishes. Now, using my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I'm going to put a little bit on my cap, dip my sponge into that powder, and set those areas. While that translucent powder bakes, I'm going to go in with my Infallible Pro Matte Finishing Powder by L'Oreal and just a big fluffy brush from Icing, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on my forehead area so I can fill in my brows. It depends what mood I'm in really, if I do my eyes first or my foundation first, but I always like to set this area before I go in with my brows, because I've noticed if I leave my foundation just like wet and then I go in with my brows and then try to put the powder, it smudges my eyebrows off, so that's not good. In with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Ebony. I'm going to use the pencil, the number 18 by Anastasia as well, and I'm going to fill in my eyebrows. I switched over to the shade Ebony. I was using dark brown, but I recently colored my hair like fresh black and I felt like the dark brown was too just brown. Going to go in with the Rimmel concealer and clean them up. And you can just drag that concealer down. So the palette that I'm going to be using for this tutorial is going to be Kat Von D's Metal palette. I just recently bought this and I'm obsessed. As you can see, all the colors are so pretty. The whole bottom row is matte and then the whole top row is their metallics. And I love it. So I'm going to be going in with just a huge round fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with the color Suede, which is that matte tan shade. It's pretty much the color of my skin, so I'm going to go ahead and put that all over my lid to set the concealer. Sorry if it's weird that I'm looking down, but that's where my mirror is at. Going in with the shade Bone right here. I'm going to put that under my eyebrow. And these colors are very, very pigmented, which is awesome. Especially for matte shades, sometimes they can be chalky and you have to layer them so many times, but this palette is great. And it is, I believe, limited edition. Just in it, I would definitely pick it up whenever you have the means to. I really decided what I want to do today. I was going to do either a brown smoky eye look or a burgundy red smoky eye. I don't know. Brown, but we can still incorporate a little bit of burgundy, and then I'll just do a full-on burgundy look the next time. Taking Velvet, which is the burgundy color right here. Taking the Morphe M441, dipping that into it, and going in into my crease. And with these colors, I would definitely recommend, especially when you're blending, to start off with a tiny bit and then work your way up. Because if you put a lot on your brush and you just pat it down, it is hard to blend out. Let me get my hair out of the way so you can see. In with the Morphe B40, the one that we put the suede color, I'm going to blend those two together. As you can see, this color is so pretty, so pigmented. To make it a super simple look, you could honestly put like a cream eyeshadow right here, a matte like tan color, and call it a day, throw some mascara on, but I think I'm going to keep going. The Wet n Wild just fluffy brush, I'm going to take Oak, the dark brown color in the palette right there, and put that on my lower crease. Right here. I have to say that's my favorite dark brown color that I have, like out of all my palettes, all my single shadows. This color is my favorite. And just blend it up into that burgundy color. With the same brush, I'm going to be dipping it into Velvet and mixing those two together. Like so. One of the Urban Decay brushes that came in the Naked palettes, and wet the flat side of it. And I'm going to dip this into Synergy, the metallic brown shade in the palette, and hit that right on the lower part of my lid, like so. And don't worry if there's fallout, because you have that translucent powder that you can just sweep it off afterwards. And this side. Honestly, these metallic shades are so pretty. That's the main reason why I bought this palette, because although there's a lot of colors in the matte shades, I don't really use color that often, so the top colors really caught my eye. And you can even use these metallic shades dry. It'll just look like a normal eyeshadow that has a little bit of glitter in it. And using the other side of this brush, I'm just blending it in once again. For the lids, I am doing a really bold lip, so I wanted to keep it pretty neutral on top. Go ahead and throw on some liner and my lashes, and I'll be right back. So now that the lashes are applied, I'm going to be going in with Oak and putting that on my lower lash line. And I'm going to apply mascara. Complete the eye look, I'm going to be using Midnight Cowboy in the Heavy Metal collection of Urban Decay's liners, and I'm going to put that into my inner corner. I'm going to brush off that powder that we did earlier, that translucent powder. I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade Light palette. I'm just going to curl out the cheekbones. And around the forehead. And with just a pointed fluffy brush, I'm going to hit the light colors on the top and go right under what we just did to clean it up. Okay, and for blush, I'm going to be using my Chanel in the shade Rose Temptation number 60. It looks like this, and I'm just going to hit the apples of my cheeks with that. I love this blush for fall. And it's lasted me quite a long time too, so it's worth the investment. For my favorite part, the highlight. I recently just got this. It's Artist Couture's highlighting powder in the shade Gold Digger. It is so pretty. At first I was a little bit intimidated when I got it because it is pretty intense, but you just have to play around with it and figure out how you like it. Because if you apply it with a dry brush, it won't be as intense, but you already know I like to wet my brush and go in with that. I start off with a little bit, and I just do circular motions. And just keep piling it on until it's as bright as you want it to be. Wet the brush, swirl in that powder, and doing circular motions. Go ahead and hit that. And if you feel like a little bit got on places you don't want to be, just go in with a powder brush and brush it off. And I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose. And on my Cupid's bow. Just forgot to contour my nose. I like to do this step, I like to contour my nose after that highlight because it helps brush off the excess highlight that I don't need. And the new lipstick I just got is Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Drop Dead Red. I've gotten a lot of questions on this. I posted a picture on my Instagram wearing this and a lot of people loved it, so I'm gonna be using that, and I'm gonna line it with just a burgundy liner. Like so. I'm just gonna go in with that color. The consistency is great. It's not too thick and it's not too runny. And it does dry to a darker color. When I first put this on, I was kind of bummed out because it wasn't exactly the color that I was looking for, but once it dried, it turned out to be really pretty. It's kind of like that Pinterest picture that always goes around of the really pretty girl. She has blonde hair up in a bun, she has a big scarf, and she's like all mysterious in a random alley, like, yeah. That's what it reminds me of. And that was the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what you would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.